back in the garage. Episode 2 of Fourcross bike build on a budget. I've been working in the background a little bit since the last video. I've sold the front wheel, the back wheel, and the shifters off the Carrera, which made me £30. I've purchased a set of matching wheels for it, which were £20 with good tyres, so that's all good. I've bought a chain device for it, which was £20, a brand new one. I've cleaned up everything from the Saracen that we're going to use, so the bottom bracket, cassette, shifters and brake levers, and a chain, so that's all good. The Shimano LX cranks, I've actually put them on one of my other bikes because they were period correct to it, and we have cranks off that, which are a set of Shimano Allevios, which will be absolutely fine. So let's strip the rest of this bike down, get it to a bare frame, and we'll see if we can start building back up now. This Lifeline cassette tool won't go in the hole that I need it to. I think I'm going to have to take that little anchor out. Hopefully the crank should come off absolutely fine. He says. So now we've got to remove the bottom bracket. Now just remember, the left side is regular thread, the right side is left-handed. So to get the left side out, it's anti-clockwise. The right side is opposite, left-handed thread. So to get it out, you have to turn it clockwise. In theory, tighten it. It's kind of. Well, that doesn't normally happen. My fault. Managed to lose a whole bearing. Where's that gone? So ignore the state of my floor, but would you believe that bearing ended up there? So there was a little sticker here, and normally when you take a sticker off you get left with this horrible glue. Normally, little tip for you, healthy dose of WD-40. Let that settle for a little bit, and it should come straight off. There you go, little tip for getting rid of old stickers. Now, whoever had this before must have done a bit of paint work to sell it, and I've got a bit of overspray of what looks like matte black on the paintwork. So I'll find the best way to get rid of this is choke and carburetor cleaner. This stuff's pretty nasty, so I'd suggest gloves and not doing it in the garage, but you know, do as I say, not as I do. Let's give it a nice soak in, and it should just wipe off. There we go. So we've got the frame stripped down, completely. Most of the components are cleaned up and ready to go back on. I think the worst component on this bike is going to be these forks. They're just 2 springs, they've got no control damping at all. So what I have got is a damper rod from the forks from the Saracen, and I think what I'm going to do is try and use the spring and damper rod out of these Suntour XCRs to try and see if we can make these XCMs perform a little bit better than they would normally. So let's pull these forks apart and have a look. And suspension forks are normally full of grease and horribleness. And probably these are full of water. Because that's the main issue with the Suntour fork, is that they fill up with water. So just undo these foot nuts enough, give them a quick tap just to free up. And keeping pops like these are really useful to make sure you don't lose any of the parts. Let's see if these are full of water or not. That's a surprise. Set of Suntours that aren't full of water. My plan might be ruined here. So we'll just have to deal with what we've got and see if we can make these better. So I had a play about off camera. And the only way I can make a fork damp with the 27.5 inch wheels that I want to use is to use the rough uppers from the XCRs in the 27.5 inch XCM lowers. So I've got that now. I've managed to save the stanchions to a point. I've lubricated it all up. It doesn't feel too bad on the bounce test. I'm going to build it up with this fork, trial it, see how it feels, see how it rides. Ideally, this would be my first big upgrade, is a fork. A fork makes a bike, but for the budget, there's no way we're going to find a 27.5 inch straight steerer fork for this bike that's any good. So we're stuck with this. We'll just do the best we can. Hopefully it works fine. Crown race removal. Old screwdriver. Don't use your dad's favourite screwdriver. And just tap it in to the little slot. You should be able to get some movement on the crown race. Just keep swapping forwards, backwards, and it will eventually come off. Waste pipe. So we're ready to go. Let's start building. It's just occurred to me that the steer tube on this is going to be way too long, so we'll have to make it the same length as that one, maybe a bit longer. So let's do that then now. 200. And this little clamp I picked up from a car boot, the little saw guide. It's been brilliant. I think I paid £3 for it. Nice, evenly cut steer tube. I only bought this recently. It was about £7 I think off eBay. So you set it all up. Perfect. Seal. start it by hand. Spacers, this is a 73mm bottom bracket, so it just needs one 2.5mm spacer on the drive side. We're not going to put one of them on because we've been shopping and we bought a chain device because this is going to be a race bike. We don't want the chain falling off. So the non-drive side's in, and what we've got here is one of the brand new parts I bought for this bike. This was straight out of China, chain device. Obviously this has got ISCG mounts, but the frame doesn't, so it comes with a plate. The plate sits on behind the bottom bracket, and then you can bolt the chain device to the plate with the bolt supplied. Use a left-hand thread, so counterclockwise to tighten it. It's got an integrated bash guard. I might take the bash guard off. I don't like these with a bash guard when it's mounted by the bottom bracket, because it tends to, if you have an impact there, loosen your bottom bracket and then you get crank bind. Something's binding somewhere. These inner knobs are binding on the chain device. I'm going to have to grind them off. So I've got the cranks on, just have to grind them tabs down a little bit. We're going to use the Avelio rear mech. It matches the cranks, it's part of the group set. It looks a bit more modern than that the old XT, so we'll use this. The grips, I have got grips. They were 99p from the Chain Reaction sale. They're a set of nuke proof, I think they are. The issue being they're white, so I'm not going to put them on until right at the end. I might see if I can find some black ones, to be honest, because they will get dirty quick. But within the budget, they're the grips that we should probably be using. So these are the wheels I picked up. They're actually Carrera wheels. These were £20. They feel okay. I think the bearings in them are pretty good. They're straight. So I'm going to take all this gearing off and this dork disc and put the gearing that we've got ready for it on. And get the back wheel in. So someone's decided that painting a disc rotor green would be a great idea. So we'll have to get it off and scrape the paint off it. Bought this seat for £1 from a car boot. I think it's possibly the right one for these. So let's get rid of the absolute monstrosity that it came with and swap it to this one. So what I found is this wheel keeps flopping around when you've got a bike in a stand, and it's really irritating. So, little bungee cord. Go around a couple of times between the spokes and the frame. Clip it together. So because this rotor is bigger than the rotor that was obviously originally on them forks, but it matches the back one, so I want to use it. I don't have a post mount 160 to post mount 180 adapter. So I've I kind of bodged it with a couple of nuts. This should be fine. There's no reason that it cause a problem. It's not the right way to do it, and if I wasn't on a budget, I would buy the right adapter. They're about £6 or £7 online. But while we're trying to save every penny, nothing wrong with a set of nuts. and longer bolts. So that's it. End of episode 2. We've got the bike together. It's all working, kind of. A couple of little bits and pieces that I need to fit at the start of next episode that I'm waiting to be delivered. But apart from that, we're good to go. Next episode we'll go and test it out. We'll take it to somewhere, maybe a couple of places, see how it rides, see what else we need to do to it. I have got a couple of things I think we'll need to do. But for now, she's rideable, she's ready to be tested, and I'll see you next time. So like, subscribe, follow, or don't, you know, it's up to you really. But yeah, next episode we'll have some actual riding and a bit of fun. So hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Catch you later.